Good morning, buenos dias. It's the 10th of March, 2023. The last time I recorded this area was in November, and this was still in full bloom, taking on fall color. This is the late winter garden. Here, that's the hydrangea. Has some buds on it, and you can see that's the cryptomeria with its bronze winter color. This is the dianthus, which I did not cut back. I cut back other dianthus. That's the barberry, and it's the sharp thorns. I do need to prune this shrub. Those are my darling boxwoods. The autumn joy sedum is coming up. Once it grows a little bit more, I'm switching it from this location and moving it to a location where it's not as wet. Those are my tulips, and if you can tell, either rabbits or other vermin got to them and started chomping on their leaves. I don't know if these will survive. I have a nice row of tulip bulbs that I planted here 2 years ago, and those are tulip bulbs that come back, are somewhat perennial in my area, and so they're coming back. This is their year 2, but they got chomped on really badly. You see all that damage. Let's hope they can make it. Let's hope they can make it. Here's a lamb's ear that I cut back. Okay, and if we turn, yeah, my containers have seen better days. I gotta work on these seriously. If we turn this way, here you start seeing, that is my dogwood. Isn't that beautiful? The red twig dogwood. It's just beautiful in the winter, and I have 2 of them. So it frames the entry of my house really nicely. These are daylilies that are coming back up. They'll be in full bloom probably in June, July. And these are narcissus, the small ones. Daffodils. This is all phlox. So there's a lot of garbage that blows in. These are my hyacinths. I had a video where I used the auger to plant these down. They're starting to come up. They're starting to come up. Look how pretty. Aw. Aw, little babies. This is a little bouquet of tulips that I planted here. I'm gonna have to put the rodent and deer barrier here, because the deer came by and damaged my beautiful tree, my baby tree. They came by and rubbed their horns on my tree. This is a cherry blossom. Damaged my tree. This tree was not cheap to buy. As you can tell, it's a high caliber. And anyway, I left some of the leaves on the ground. I don't know if they've composted enough. I have really bad mulch, so I don't know. And these I thought would be evergreen, but they're not. These shrubs, and there's garbage that always flies in here from the street. I hate that. But these are trivet. These are sunshine ligustrum, and I thought they'd be evergreen, but they're not in my area. So that's interesting, something I learned. The blue junipers are doing great. That's a rose bush. Here are some more hyacinths coming up from the ground. Look at this. Oh. Too much mulch, I think, around them. There's my baby maple tree. Japanese maple. I think the deer also had a nice feeding here. These are some golden euonymus that I have. And the deer had a feast. There's some other ligustrum that I thought would be evergreen and they're not. So I'm going to replace these with evergreen taller plants. Excuse the noise, that is a big truck. Somebody's getting a delivery. Anyway, and so this is the hibiscus. I cut it back. Here are more tulips that were chomped on. They just took a beating. These rabbits were hungry. Oh, those are coming out funny. They probably struggle too much. There's probably too much mulch in this area for them. I have to be careful not to step on this. I have to go around. Apparently, this is an allium that I planted. I didn't know it was coming up already. But that's an allium. This is a spirea. And this is my row of bobo hydrangeas and arborvitaes. Let's see, it is all hydrangeas. Nothing's coming up here yet. I have a very good friend who gifted me this cute little plaque for Christmas. And this section looks barren, but there's two huge hostas here. Creeping Charlie's doing well. So this is the late winter front yard garden. Needs some work, but some promise here as well with all these buds coming up. You know, they always make me happy. I still have to finish up on some cleanup, get rid of the rest of the leaves that I left on the ground on purpose to try to create some sort of compost. There's some more hyacinths coming up. It's like a little winter theme. I have to finish cleaning these beds. Those are coming up as well. I'm gonna have to lay down some barrier. They're pellets that I put down so that the deer and the rabbits and other vermin keep away from my plants. And I still have to, I cleaned up to here. As you can tell, I trimmed back those little baby Japanese euonymus. And I cut back the lavender plants, but I still have to do this area. The lavender here is still wild. And the leaves are still hugging these plants. I'm gonna try to move them away from there. So yeah, this is the front yard. Oh, look at my Hollywood. Hollywood is doing good. So yeah, this is the state of affairs in Garden State Chica's front yard garden. We'll look in the backyard. The backyard is a little bit more of a hot mess. But still work to do. Today is going to snow and rain, so this weekend is probably not going to be a gardening weekend. However, I can put down the pellets so to keep away any more little critters from damaging my plants. Here we go. I don't know if it's, yeah. There we go. There we go. Very gentle with them. Okay. Let's see what this new season brings. Look at the Nandina. Nandina's looking cute. It is evergreen in my area. That's good to know. Nandina doesn't lose its leaves in zone 7A. Very nice. And it has a nice little contrast with the blue juniper there. Okay. Exciting things to come.